Drink beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. This is the second part of this series of videos where I'm moving through a list of common mistakes made by homebrewers all the way through the process from grain to glass. There are actually quite a few of them, but thankfully most of these just need a brief introduction, and quite a few of these can sit well together in a shorter video format that acts as a checklist. Some of the topics around these mistakes mentioned here have separate video guides already, and where appropriate I will show them on screen during the section and provide links in this video's description on YouTube. The aim of this series is either to be helpful with a means to improvement or simply be reassuring. Let's get started. I will begin with misunderstanding Whirlpool hop temperatures. 0 minute, flame out, or Whirlpool hops as they are known are an area that tends to get very blanket answers on homebrew forums and groups as to the temperature that you should add them in at. Very common answers are to add them in at between 80 to 85 degrees C or between 176 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this in itself is not incorrect as such, but it really depends on what your end aim is. There are in fact more options, as we will discuss shortly, but at this temperature you will gain more bitterness, or as some say perceived bitterness, compared to other common options. But really this is the very worst time to be looking at more bitterness, of course, as well as it being the least economic time. Whirlpool hops are associated with aroma mostly, as well as a little flavour, so I suggest to focus this. By cooling down to approximately 71 to 76 degrees C or 160 to 170 Fahrenheit, you will preserve more hop oils, and for many brewers this provides the sweet spot. You will simply gain more of what is relevant to the addition, but this can also be taken even further if you want more and have more time. This is my preference, and this will put you in the temperature range of between 60 to 70 degrees C or 140 to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. But be aware that at these temperatures you will need a longer hop stand of up to 45 minutes for the best results. I would highly recommend doing your own experimentation here to see what temperatures you prefer. Having said all of this, a much easier alternative if you want to go with the lower temperature range is to actually skip the boil addition and simply use a hop tea. I have a guide on how to do this on this channel as shown on screen now, and you will also find a link in the description. Staying with the hop theme, let's address not stirring in hop additions either thoroughly or at all. I've met some homebrewers who are surprised to see me either stirring in hop additions at all or for the length of time that I spend doing this. They then try it themselves and notice a positive difference in their end beers, usually along the lines of hop effects becoming more alive in the end beer. By stirring the hops in, you are essentially helping them on their way to releasing their oils, and are also mixing that oil into the wort. It should be understood that oil when added to liquid will simply sit at the top unless you mix it in. Within any beer recipe all hops are timed, and the assumption is in these recipes that they are all stirred in after adding them. So to get what is intended from the hops, give them a good stir. Your taste buds will thank you. It is sad to say, but way too many homebrewers will make the assumption that one packet of yeast is enough to serve one batch of beer, but that is not always the case. Some homebrewers also rely on websites that are simply designed to sell you more yeast than you actually really need. Equally, some homebrewers will even double up on yeast, thinking that more will be better. Do not forget that yeast comes in lots of different types, so as such there can be no general rule for all. I suggest avoiding commercial websites and look at the free website that I am showing here with the URL on screen. This site covers a huge amount of different types of yeast and also the various methods of calculating yeast starters. Play around with these different methods of calculation and you will see there are wild differences here. Here's a good tip: the higher pitch methods are usually there just to sell you more yeast. Next up, I have taking shortcuts with cleaning and sanitation. It's fair to say that there are many mistakes that homebrewers can make that are curable later on. Not being clean and sanitary with anything that comes into contact with your wort certainly is not one of those recoverable mistakes. Your end beer will end up down the drain along with your money and time. Another related mistake is to use cleaning products that are simply not suitable for the job. If you are looking to save money, then there are always ways to do this, of course. A cleaner does not need to be expensive to be good, it simply needs to contain the appropriate ingredients. Another key point is that just because something looks clean, it does not mean that it is suitable for the care of some materials like stainless steel that need to be rid of protein buildup, to name just one area of issue. By doing things like this, you will simply limit the life of your products. Plastics also need different levels of care compared to stainless steel, and prolonged exposure to certain chemicals will result in damage. As my father always said, a man should always take care of his equipment, and I believe he was right, and I feel the same applies to ladies also. For much more details on cleaning and sanitation, then please check out my full guide as shown on screen now and linked in this video's description. If you would like to discuss the topics raised in this video or have questions, then you can use this YouTube channel's comment section. There is also a Facebook group for the channel, and I do my very best to see all the posts that go into the group. In addition to this, I have a great team of very knowledgeable moderators, as well as a large base of helpful and friendly people from all levels of experience to help out also. This now brings this video to a close. If you have any questions, then please let me know via YouTube or Facebook. I do hope that you found this video to be useful, interesting and enjoyable. If appropriate, then please like this video on YouTube, and if you've not done so already, then please subscribe. I regularly post new content. Happy brewing!